Section 7, sub 6, Section 18, sub 8 of the Police Act. What did he do? It is not even a law that is based on equity. The Inspector General of Police is a police officer. Forget about the rank that he has. He's a police officer. So if you now say it is only him that will benefit from that particular cadre of law, what about those below him? Are you not saying if I join the police and I'm 60 years, I will retire and I will go? Then, but my organ that is there, that is older than me, 65 years, he will continue in government, till he is tired. Then he now goes. It's a bad law. A bad law should be shut down by the judiciary. We're asking the judiciary to shoot down, this particular law. That is what Showore is telling, the government. A president woke up one morning and said, all Nigerian youths are lazy. That for me is an insultive word. It's a defamatory word. Because if a man that is outside Nigeria hears of that, they say, oh, from Nigeria, no, you can't even come because you people are very lazy. The president defamed Nigeria. We didn't do anything to him. But if I were to say that the president at that time was a lazy man, police will come after me. Which means that we are not practicing democracy, but plutocracy. Plutocracy is government for the rich, by the rich. And that is what is happening in Nigeria today. A man will steal 10,000 naira in one of the markets here, in Boju markets, or as they call it in Lagos here. Police will arrest him, handcuff him, take him out and put him in an ATM. But a big man, will steal 100 billion naira. When you steal 100 billion naira, they will protect you. Police will use siren to take you to court. They bring him to every day, take you to court with a seat vehicle, and they grant bail to him in the next 30 minutes. Whereas they all stole money. People like Showore should be respected. He's been constant. He's been there for Nigerians. Many Nigerians do not know, they are not aware, but he's been very visible. And not just being visible, he has been fighting for the rights of Nigerians. Now, let me say with due respect, like I have said that there's this German poet and philosopher, his name is Gunter Grass. He said, one of the cardinal duties of any citizen is to open his mouth wide and talk to government and let government know where they are doing badly and where they've done well or where they need to improve. That is what Showore is doing. Showore does not hate the Tinubu government. He does not hate any government at all. But he wants things to be right. You have found out that he has even gone to the arena to say, let me even participate directly and see if I can change Nigeria. That is why he now belongs to a political party and he tried to be president of Nigeria, even though he did not succeed with that. But people like this, they've been there since 1992. Now, if you look at what Showore is talking about, let me put it in perspective. If you look at what Edmund Burke said, a philosopher, he said a bad law is worse than the worst form of tyranny. That is Edmund Burke saying that a law that is bad is worse than tyranny. Now, so if you look at this law that has been enacted by the National Assembly, it's an unnecessary law. With the ferocious nature that particular law was now enacted, the question we are asking is this: why has Section 14, sub 2B of the 1999 Constitution not have been amended and also brought from Chapter 2 to Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution so that it becomes justiciable? What I mean by being justiciable is that under Section 14, sub 24, it means I can challenge, my governor from my state who is not doing well, and I take him to court and I get damages. I get rewarded by way of compensation and damages paid to us. Why has it not been? Why have that not been taken to that part of the Constitution? Now, the other question I want to ask is this: why is it that the law in the history of lawmaking in the whole world, the only place where I saw a law or read where a law was hurriedly passed was in the US Congress, where the Patriot Act, you can Google it and see, the Patriot Act, and that particular law was made, it passed through first, second reading within some hours, and it became a law because it was for the general good of the American people. So the congressman felt that there's no need to even debate this, because this law is a good law that will enhance democracy and enhance the better living and lives of the American people. Not this kind of law, promoting, police. You want the man to remain there because it's your favored and loved, a person. Let me give you for an example. Section 7, sub 6, Section 18, sub 8 of the Police Act. What did he do? It is not even a law that is based on equity. It is only a law that the Inspector General of Police is a police officer. Forget about the rank that he has. He's a police officer. So if you now say it is only him that will benefit from that particular cadre of law, what about those below him? Are you not saying if I join the police and I'm 60 years, I will retire and I will go? Then, but my organ that is there, that is older than me, 65 years, he will continue in government, till he is tired. Then he now goes. It's a bad law. A bad law should be shut down by the judiciary. We're asking the judiciary to shoot down, this particular law. That is what Showori is telling, the government. It's not saying that, well, it is not a law. It's a law made by the National Assembly. But there are good laws and there are bad laws. Good laws are laws that are not repugnant to equity. They are not repugnant to good conscience. For instance, why are they battling, law on gay and lesbianism in America? Because they are bad laws. Those are laws that are repugnant to good conscience and natural justice. That is why you see people say, no, we don't want gay, we don't want lesbianism, we don't want this to happen, or same-sex marriage, even though there are laws enhancing them in some states in America. So it's a bad law. That's why we're against them. The same thing we're asking in Nigeria here. That is number one. Number two is this. I have said that Nigeria is not democracy. Democracy, as we cannot even change tenets of democracy. It's from the Greeks and imbibed by France and other contemporary words. It's a government by the people, for the people, and by the people. Who are the people? We are the people who are voting. And it's our government because we surrendered our rights, in what we call the social contract, to those who are representing us. And democracy has its tenets. Rule of law. What is rule of law? Rule of law is encapsulated in Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution. Right to life. Presumption of innocence. Liberty. Free speech. etc. Freedom of association. Freedom to own properties. These are tenets of democracy. But when it now becomes those freedom taken away from you, like what we are seeing now, as some people talking here, the video might go viral and they say, oh, this man has said something about, they begin to look for me to come and pick me and arrest me. They forgot that I have that freedom to speak, even though I know my limitations in terms of freedom of speech, as the case may be. Now, if a big man were to insult the rest of us, a president woke up one morning and said, all Nigerian youths are lazy. That for me is an insultive word. It's a defamatory word. Because if a man that is outside Nigeria hears of that, they say, oh, from Nigeria, no, you can't even come because you people are very lazy. The president defamed Nigeria. We didn't do anything to him. But if I were to say that the president at that time was a lazy man, police will come after me, which means that we are not practicing democracy, but plutocracy. Plutocracy is government for the rich, by the rich. And that is what is happening in Nigeria today. A rich man commits an offense. The police will not even go near his house. I've seen that happen a number of times. Police, this is the man, so I say, don't do that guy went to that place. And not if you go there because other policemen are guarding the house. As the case may be. So it is the big people who are in government. That is why you see the suffering everywhere. A man will steal 10,000 naira in one of the markets here, in Boju markets, or as they call it in Lagos here. Police will arrest him, handcuff him, take him out and put him in an ATM. But a big man, will steal 100 billion naira. When you steal 100 billion naira, they will protect you. Police will use siren to take you to court. They bring him to which they are taking to court with a seat vehicle, and they grant bail to him in the next 30 minutes. He does not even sleep in the cell that the other man has stole 10,000. Whereas they all stole money. Money is money. Whether it's 10,000, it's 50 million. It's money. You stole under, they stole our own. So it is government for the rich. How come that if it is not plutocracy Nigeria is practicing, how come that the president, the governors do not have their healthcare system in Nigeria here? They go abroad to go and do whatever, get health, insurance, etc. They leave the poor masses like us to go to hospitals, they cannot and have never equipped in the first instance. So this is the problem we are having. Nigeria has become a state, and I have constantly said that the problems of Nigeria has been there right from time. A lot of us should go and read, Chino Achebe's, the problem with Nigeria. And that book was written decades ago. The man saw that the problems, that is for us to grow, these are the problems, these are the solutions. If you go and read that particular book by Chino Achebe, you find that those problems are still visible today. Corruption in Nigeria. And who are those, corruptly enriching themselves? Grandiose living, debauchery, malfeasance that is going on here in Nigeria today. Nobody challenges them because they are big people. So that is why I say we are practicing plutocracy and not democracy. In a democratic setting, some of the ex-presidents will be in jail. Some of the ex-governors will be in jail because democracy and rule of law will operate. But the rule of the mighty and the rule of wealth is what is operating. That is why you find that most of them today can never look at criminals who were found guilty one way or another, walking around the street. We can see what happened where democracy truly exists is in the UK, for instance. A former deputy senate president committed an offense. Within 2 weeks, he was already in prison. He was found guilty. He was given that fair hearing because the rule of law says give fair hearing. Given fair hearing, he couldn't even challenge it on appeal because he knew that he was guilty of the offense. If that thing that happened in Nigeria, I speak to you from here today with due respect, that the man would have gone back to the National Assembly and even contested to become governor of his state or president of Nigeria. So when you have things like this happening, why won't you be so bitter for this country corner? But we still have hope. People that give us hope, people like Showore. I saw a young man who spoke to me on phone. He's a Nigerian guy. He said that he listened to Showore some days back, and he said there's still hope for Nigeria. Maybe things will go good with people like Showore around. I commend him. I also commend you, media, because you guys have given us the opportunity for us to ventilate. Even though most times we oscillate around and do whatever, but we hit the nail at the head because you have allowed us, to espouse, and expand Section 22 of the 1999 Constitution that gives us that right for us to talk and gives you, the media, the right also to question government and ask government, what are you doing? Hold them accountable. That is the major thing about democracy. We are doing it, but the government will not even allow us to, air our views. So we don't practice democracy. In a democratic setting, I want to say with due respect, a law as bad as this amendment of the Police Act, 2 hours, first reading, second reading, third reading, it was not a law. But when it gets to a time that a law that will help the people to bring down prices of foodstuff and fuel, it will take years. Nigeria, we need to change. Let's practice true democracy. And I believe that a day will come, not that God is going to be able to raise divinely, but we are going to fight for it. People like Showore should be encouraged. That is just my message.